Well, from the wonderful Studio A at 1 Biloxi Square in Lake Worth, Texas, welcome in everyone to the Grandpa and Pappy Show.
All right.
It's the only show that gives you, our viewers, a chance to optimize your voice as far as comments and concerns that you may have on topics of today. And we got a pretty good one actually coming up today. Today we're going to be talking about censoring social media.
We're going to censor your views.
Yeah, which seems to be a very hot topic right now.
Lord, yeah.
Things going well for you?
Things are good, amigo. How about yourself?
So far, so good. I'm moving around a little bit better. Yeah. The soreness is going away.
It's a good thing you don't have to repaint the fence weekly.
Boy, ain't that the dead-gum truth. I'm telling you, that like to kick my butt.
I like to.
Well, hey, before we get started, it's something that I heard this morning, and I know you did too, Pappy, on the news, is that there are actually some big cities that are considering disbanding their police departments. Now, how stupid is this?
Well,
how stupid is this? Do you realize that if that happens, the chaos that's going to happen? And then there's going to be a shooting war inside the United States.
Well, you know who's going to rule the streets when that happens. I was reading an article this morning, how true it. I didn't research it. I had to roll my eyes and pass out when I read it. That some large city out on the West Coast, you know where,
California.
Initials California, has cut the budget by $150 million to their police department or law enforcement agencies as overall, and they're giving it to oppressed neighborhoods. I guess they got tired of waiting on their $800,000 check from the other side, and
Well, how about all these freaking Hollywood celebrities out there that's donating millions of dollars for the defense of those that are being arrested for rioting and looting and stealing?
Running out of money or what? I mean,
why don't you just divert that money over to California, right there where you live, and just oppress all you want to?
Just build a big-ass wall between y'all and us, and I'll be most happy.
Well, maybe the San Andreas Fault will finally collapse, and it'll go off into the ocean, so that's all I could say.
Anything west of Colorado would be okay by yours truly.
Now, I'm not talking about everyone that lives in California, because there are some level-headed conservative people out there, but golly, the people running your state are stupid.
This does not include all you bootlickers out there, okay? I imagine they know what I'm talking about, but if not, research it.
Yeah,
sickening to me.
That's just the way it goes. We ask you to send us into your comments on today's topic, which is censoring social media. And Pappy, once again, they stepped right up.
Yes, sir, they did.
I'm telling you, you
guys are the greatest.
They really are.
We can't say that.
I get so impressed by some of the thoughts that you people send in.
Yeah.
It just shows me how insightful you are on things going on around this country.
And very serious-minded as well.
Well, yeah. Some of you get very in-depth with what you're talking about. Without further ado, let's get to what you sent in. And there was some good ones today. Cassie Terry said she's all in for censoring crimes against minors and having a choice to click on a picture or video to view graphic material, but to censor freedom of speech and information, or important information, that is not okay. Why is it up to the media or Facebook or all social media for that matter to decide what is truth or not? I have a brain and should be able to hear all sides of the story, then make an educated decision. I don't like the idea of only seeing other people's options of their truths, and that is being forced on me. When they are even censoring the president, that is a whole new level. It is not okay for the media to choose what the people are allowed to hear.
I agree.
Very thoughtful insight.
You know, and censorship has gone back as far as the 1600s.
Yeah.
From what I read, it was kind of designed for the government, the military, to hide secrets and intel and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it can go both ways, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but it's just like everything else, all the rules and regs and everything, somebody's taking advantage of it.
It certainly is.
Tiffany Chestnut said it depends. If it is sexual in nature and it goes too far, then yes. If it is someone expressing their opinion and they choose to use a few choice words to say, then no. Unless it really starts to get out of hand. Now, if something's totally disturbing and illegal, then absolutely yes. Well said, Tim.
Mm-hmm. Good insight.
Yeah.
James Rainey said he personally objects to some things he sees on social media and disagrees vehemently, but those people have a right to speak their mind, just as it is my right to call them Looney Tunes. I've heard Grandpa say, talking about me, yeah. I've heard Grandpa say, "I rest my case, Your Honor." I do say that a lot.
The defense rests. Well said, James. Debbie Armstrong Lowe said she is for it. Also, more censoring on TV, Netflix, and YouTube. We have to get back to morals, but who is going to do the censoring? Who could be trusted?
You know, the old Hollywood and Television Standards Board that handled all of the censorship used to do that, and they were quite rigorous.
Yeah.
In what you could do, what you could say.
Well, they were known to push the envelope.
Yes, they would.
Big time.
Mm-hmm. You'd have to change it, or it didn't get released.
That's absolutely right.
Jerry Blum said to just tell it like it is.
By God.
And that's the way it is. Yes.
Well said, Jerry. Tiffany said if we keep people too sheltered and not exposed to stuff that happens in the real world, then what is going to happen when they go out into the real world and get smacked in the face with a dose of reality that they never knew even existed because of it?
Isn't that true?
I will say this, it all starts at home.
It does. I agree with you.
Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Teach your children well. I mean, you tell them the truth.
Yeah.
They have a right to know as well. So,
Big Matt Bannister said he is against it. It's the First Amendment of free speech.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. That's true fact, man. Zach Wilbur said he can understand fact-checking stuff, but censoring stuff or removing stuff because of other people that disagree is trash. We're supposed to have freedom of speech and rights to our own opinion. Here recently, it doesn't seem like we have much freedom left for anything. So
that's a honest observation there.
Yeah.
You know, people have so many different opinions on the way they look at things, Pappy. I mean, I don't know if it's determined by what you see, what you hear, or what you're led to believe. I don't know which one it is, but there have been some very strong opinions given to us on this show on a number of topics.
I think it's a combination of it all, and then you intermingle mainstream media with it, who distorts the hell out of everything.
Isn't that the truth?
Censorship. If you want to see censorship in the raw, say the wrong thing on Facebook. See what happens. I'm probably in Facebook jail as we speak.
And it's boy, you've been there enough.
Yeah, that's where I got all my tats.
Johnny Northcutt of Point, Texas, said his opinion is to tell it all if it is the truth.
Amen. Yep.
Now we have fake news, so I don't care about this type of reporting.
Yeah.
The fake news that we have now has ruined our lives. Go back to when the reporter was not biased in their opinions. Give me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
And in the opinion, it's affected our life, but it hasn't changed it. And that's where the big rebellion is about to happen. I was watching a video of an ex-BLM African-American fellow. And he got tired of all the distruths, the lies, and all that. And he has put the word out, you need to go to my personal page. If it's still up by now, it's probably not. But He said
Well,
he said the big one's going to happen November 4th is when the Civil War is supposed to kick off. He said not that it's not going on already. He said just go to Chicago or downtown L.A. Check it out. So.
Well, they may be meeting a little bit of resistance there.
Yeah, come on down.
Yeah.
Come on down.
All right, let's get back to what we were doing here. Right. Let's see, where's it at?
Johnny Northcutt.
Oh, I already did him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Paulie G said most of the stuff on social media is BS anyway.
Way to go, Paulie.
By God. He says political season is here, elections are creeping up on us, and we'll see the usual rhetoric from all sides. He said he knows what he believes and which side he agrees with, so no amount of Facebook shit is going to change his vote. Misspelled shit.
Hey, yo, Paulie, that's the way to put it up there, man. Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel.
Marianne Sebring said if people would just watch their language when posting something, it wouldn't be so bad. But she reminds us that children also read that garbage, and it's disturbing to her.
Well,
I can understand that.
Yeah, but there is a defense for that. Pay attention to what your kids are reading.
Yeah.
And that'll stir the stink pot up with her, I'm sure.
Or just ban anybody below 18 from posting on Facebook.
Yeah.
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 So you could look at it 2 or 3 ways.
Yeah.
You sure could.
James Gordon Wolf said if a person is offended, he has the option to hide the post and break off contact with whoever posted it. I agree.
Here again, there's common sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those 2 words.
I love that common sense.
They follow us around. It ought to have a hyphen between them.
It certainly does. Frank Edgar said, as liberals used to say, if you don't like it, don't look. Apparently, they didn't teach their kids that lesson.
Mm-hmm. Don't look, Ethel.
Don't look, Ethel.
Don't look, Ethel. Dora Jean Jordan said she is against censoring because there is freedom of speech. Practice it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree with her.
Laura McCarty Preble or Preble?
Preble.
Okay. Laura, if I mispronounce it, please forgive me.
It could be Preble.
Yeah. It says if it's freedom of speech, why is everything that everybody shares taken down?
Thank you.
Here again, those 2 words, Pappy.
I will pause to let the crickets enter. Because that was very well said, very profound and well said.
Very short, to the point.
Thank you for sending it. I am living proof that is true. Stephen James said, never uphold the Constitution. Most people these days that have the ability to comment on this post have never experienced censorship of any kind. Our forefathers thought freedom of speech was so important that they put it in the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights, which they did. Sure, I don't like some of the arguments from people who oppose my point of view, but to censor their point of view, or your mind, where am I? I done lost my mind. Or my rebuttal is wrong. Grow up here and argue your point, and back it up with facts and research. Open your mind to everyone's opinion, and you might learn something. We don't need fact checkers on any social media platform because there's enough a-holes out there like me who will blow up your post if it's not true. And he's right.
Holy
he's bit me in the butt a couple of times. That's why I had to break down and
Just tell us how you really feel there, Stephen.
But he's right.
That's right. I'm not disagreeing.
I mean, there's so many posts that I post on both our podcast page and my page. And I've been guilty of sin about not researching it, but by God, they let me know.
Yes, they do.
And I appreciate that.
Yes, they do.
I just reposted. I didn't write it. I just reposted. I like stirring the stink.
David G. Cohn said he is against censorship because it helps him identify and confirm the wackos.
Yeah.
David Cohn. Well, hey, that's simple and it's honest,
Yeah, it is. That probably came from his heart.
Yes, it did.
C. Young said social media is like the National Enquirer on many levels. People just sling crap regardless of how factual it is. When it is done in humor, that is one thing, but too much shade is thrown. So Well said. Well said, Crawford. You're starting to impress me these days. So if you want people voting on important issues based on BS, I guess you let it ride. I hate censorship, and just like any of our rights and freedoms, they come with responsibilities. Yep. People don't like that part. Many people let me back up. People don't like that part many times because it doesn't cater to their agenda. So when things start running out of control because people won't be responsible, it comes in the regulation. Next thing you know, you're overregulated. That's probably the most intelligent thing I've ever heard him say.
I'm curious. I'm gonna put her on the spot. Special K, you got anything? I mean, do you have an opinion?
No.
You don't have anything? Well, you're chickening out on us here.
Oh, okay. She does.
Because normally, if she has something to say, she'll grab that mic.
By God.
Brent Hardy said he's against all.
Put it over here just in case.
Yeah, against all censorship.
Yeah,
and that's true.
And I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree. I mean, there again, I mean, that's one of those straddle the fence kind of things. I mean, the biggest part of it is about people that are under the legal age, how they're treated, how they're respected. If it's just like my amigo just said, if you don't want your child to go beyond the disclaimer, for example, like in our show, we say dirty words every once in a while.
And we always start the show off with a disclaimer saying there may be some language in there that might be offensive.
And if you don't want your child to hear shit, damn, and hell, put them in another room or watch it after they go to bed, whatever. I mean, we have that right of censorship as well. Yeah. We may push the envelope from time to time, but you ought to hear the things that we don't talk about. So I'll leave that right there.
That'd probably be a good idea there.
Or the things that we don't read from your comments.
Before I go any further, I wanted to give a shout out to the Raines High School Lady Wildcat softball team. I got
where are they?
They're in Emory, Texas,
good.
where I grew up.
Cool.
And they are the very first team to ever win a state championship in the history of Raines High School. Now, the text was reminding me of that very point, and that they won last year the state championship. Now, because of the COVID virus and all the sports being canceled in the spring, the Lady Wildcat softball team will be the only two-time state champions.
Me and Grandpa know the truth, so
until they are dethroned.
That's cool. Well, congratulations, girls.
Way to go.
And when I lived in Longview and was in radio for kicks, I used to go out to the park at Memorial Park all the time, right there off the loop in Judson Road, and watch the Longview Lobos girls team, and they was blistering some butts back in. Yeah, those old gals were fast pitch. I love watching fast pitch.
They can hurl that ball now. I'm telling you.
I wouldn't want to stand in front of them. I mean, they had one pitcher that was probably as big as old Big Matt. She was throwing like a 78-mile-an-hour fastball underhand. A softball.
Boy, my arm would be landing somewhere in Arkansas if I tried to throw it.
I was jumping up, squealing like a little girl every time she'd do a shutout, You go, girl. All I remember is her name was Maddie. Very pretty girl, but big.
I remember Kat Osterman, who used to be a star pitcher with the Texas Longhorn Lady Longhorns when they won the national championship. Then she went on to be in the Olympics and playing on a women's professional softball team.
Oh, cool.
But anyway, Jay Leno had her on one night.
Really?
Yeah. And she had just set the record for strikeouts in college softball. And he was interviewing her, and they were talking about her pitching,
So she had to demonstrate, I'm sure.
Well, no. He put her on the spot. He said, we'd like to see a little demonstration of this.
That brings a story to mind.
And he brought out, and I don't remember the player's name. He was a an outfielder for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Oh, God.
Okay. He said, I want you to throw 3 pitches to him. See if you can hit it. So they brought in someone to catch.
You serious?
I watched this. It was terrific. 3 pitches. He never even touched it.
Didn't even see him, let alone hit him.
Because they lined her up outside. I mean, they took her outside, and had it all set up, so it wouldn't hit the audience just in case he hit. But she threw him, and I think you were telling me the story about that Longview pitcher that threw a sinking curve.
Oh, God.
First pitch, sinking curve, whoosh. Second pitch was a changeup, whoosh. And the third one was her fastball.
Right down the
whoosh.
Right down the goodle.
And the player broke the bat over his knee.
Pissed him right off.
I'll never forget that. But boy, some of these girls can really.
That reminds me of a story. I mean, and I'm jumping tracks on the female softball team when I lived in Houston. I knew Moby in the morning very well. I did some internship with him when he was with KSR 97 Rocks. Bing. But this was back when Nolan Ryan was with the Astros.
Yeah.
Well, Nolan didn't like him, being the outstanding Christian he was, and Moby being the big shock jock he was. Nolan just didn't like him. Because Moby'd say things. You know how shock jocks are.
Yes, I do.
You sat next to one. I was a gospel shock jock. Anyway, we go out to the dome.
Stop and think about that, friends. A gospel shock drop.
I won 4 big awards off of it. That's right. I'll probably go to hell for all 4 of them, but I did. But anyway, we go out to the dome. Right?
Oh, Lord.
To do a promo for one of the news, CBS News is who it was there in Houston. Moby gets all fitted out in this catcher's outfit and all this. And I don't, and I'm sure Nolan probably said, I don't have time for this crap. It was game day, and it was like 2 hours before the game, and they was all suited out talking. So Moby gets behind the plate. Nolan zips a couple to him. Well, big man said, is that all you got? And Nolan didn't like him already. So
he uncorked that fastball, I'll bet you.
He threw him and they were shooting radar. 108 mile an hour fastball, and it hit Moby right dead center in the palm.
Oh, I bet the fire didn't go out for a week.
He kind of stood up, pulled the glove off, and looked at Nolan and goes, I'm good. I looked at Nolan, just grinning his ass off.
Oh, there you go.
Zip-pop.
It's been
you got to be careful who you make fun of.
Today's topic, it kind of got to some of you, and we did have a lot of comments from you, and we appreciate that so very much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we do. But before we hop into our comments section, I read somewhere, and I can't find anybody that has read this, that Trump signed a bill against mainstream media curtailing our rights, or both sides' rights.
Censorship.
Regarding censorship to state our opinions.
Right. Right.
Have you heard about that?
I heard that he was. I haven't seen anything on the news about it, just like I didn't hear the news coverage on Hillary Clinton being found guilty of destroying all those emails, which happened day before yesterday.
We know. But
it cost me out the butt.
Yeah, but I mean, a prime example, Facebook, if you don't agree with their side of opinion, they will block you. They will take it down. They'll throw community standards warning. Whatever. And it's got me in more trouble than it's worth, really.
Trust me when he says that. That's true.
In fact, I don't even know if I can sign back on to Facebook. I hadn't checked it in the last 20 minutes. So, but anyway, we all have a right to opinion.
Yeah. We
all have a right to freedom of speech. It's not one side or the other, Mr. You-know-what-berg. So, give it up, and may the best man win kind of a gig, That's what free America is all about. So,
well, thank you very much again for the comments. The Grandpa and Pappy Show are the only show, or is the only show, that you can send in your comments and your feelings on anything. I mean, anything. We read them. We read them because this show
every one of them
is based on your thoughts and opinions.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at some of the viewer comments, though.
Should you want to send those in, grandpaandpappy@gmail.com. Or you can hit us up on our website. What's up with our website there, Grandpa?
www.grandpain, the letter N, pappy.com, and that's how you can do it.
What color is the big red button again?
It is red. Thank you very much.
The big red button, it says subscribe, just like
I'm not sure.
it looks almost, in fact, it looks identical to that.
It really does.
Hit it, tell a friend about it, post a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down. I mean, let's go. It's all based on numbers, and we could use your help on that. So.
Looking at some of the viewer comments that were sent to us on past shows, John Ellis passed along a good job on our program about rioting.
Oh, yeah.
He said some of the video he has watched of protesters getting into the faces of police officers and taunting them will eventually cause the officers to reciprocate, and they have every right to. There's a difference between staging a peaceful protest and being downright stupid.
Very well said, John. Very well said.
Just saying it like it is.
I mean, it's the truth. Paula McKinney said she just watched her show on Secrets to a Successful Marriage and made her husband watch it. She said our viewers made some really good points, and she wanted him to hear them. Well, thank you for that. But in fact, the Divine Miss Helen made me watch that show too. So
yeah.
But thanks for sending that in, Paul. We appreciate it.
Lance C. said the rioting in America has got to stop. He urges people of all colors, races, and creeds to come together and put a stop to all of the destruction going on.
Yeah.
He says it is stupid and senseless, and every one of those thugs should have to pay for what they destroyed or stole from a business. The time to make a stand is now.
By God.
That's pretty,
hey, I'm locked
pretty
and loaded.
well putting it in
You locked and
perspective.
loaded, brother man?
I got mine in there cleaning.
Mine stays clean. Bill Morris said the riots have shown him one thing, just how greedy and selfish some people can be, and it makes him sick to his stomach. Ditto, Bill.
A.C. Smiths said for people to stop all of the foolish horse manure. I will be nice there.
That's a French word.
And get on with living in the greatest country history has ever seen. He said to those who are destroying our national monuments, they better hope they never get in his crosshairs because he'll have no mercy on them. They need to be shot like the dogs they are.
That deserves another by God right there. Avery Morris said abortions are still the #1 killer of innocence. Being a retired physician, he can't understand why all these young women want to destroy a living being when there are so many couples in America who would adopt that baby in a New York second, and Special K hit on that
she did, didn't she?
On that show, yeah. And I mean, this is a
that's
retired
here it is.
Physician.
Common sense
Jesus
again.
Christ.
I mean, good God Almighty.
That word keeps popping up in our life, don't it?
Now, coming up on our next show, we got a surprise for you.
Yeah.
Just be watching our Facebook page for your comments, and we'll need your help putting it together. So let's just put it that way.
They'll step up, as they always do.
Let's, one more time, give them where they can reach us.
You can hit us up on our website at www.grandpa, the letter N, pappy.com, just like it says right up here.
All right. Our Facebook page at grandpaandpappy.com.
Absolutely.
Hey, incidentally, we have Father's Day coming up in about a week and a half,
That'll be great.
and we want you to start sending your pictures of your dad into us,
please do.
along with a little something. Say something about it so we can talk about your dad.
Show the love.
And I'm sure Special K will put her Special K touch
Oh,
to a montage of pictures at the very end of that program.
Once again, we'll be blowing snot bubbles, amigo.
37 is the amount of pictures that we can feature, so you be the first 37 to get yours in, and we'll make sure to feature your dad. You can start sending them today.
Yeah, please do.
And don't wait till the last minute, the Friday before Father's Day, which is the 19th, when the show will tape, and we cannot accept any more after that.
Yeah.
So,
and also, Thomas Gabriel.
I'm going to ask you about that. That's coming up next week, I think.
Yeah, it should be about mid to late week. Thomas Gabriel, for those of you who don't know, is Johnny Cash's firstborn grandson. He is Kathy's son, I believe.
Kathy, I believe, yeah.
And the guy, if you have yet to hear his music,
oh my God,
I'm not even going to say a word about it. Just
it is
hit him.
phenomenal.
And I've posted a couple of times on our podcast page and on my personal page. The guy's just totally awesome, but
he really is.
Grandpa and I have been talking. We've been kind of bantering back and forth about starting a featured local artist page, or show rather, not a page, which would be included on our podcast page as well.
Sure.
We know a lot of talented musicians, a lot of them. Kenny Bulldog Willis, who plays our opening music.
Brian Emerton
from Tennessee, who plays our closing music. And we're probably going to start mixing it up a little bit because we've got some people.
The judge.
Yeah, the judge. Judge Chris Woods. And he's up your way, Brian. He lives up in them hills somewhere.
Up there in Tennessee.
Amongst all you picking and grinning boys. But, I would, and I'm excited about that. I really am.
And I'm excited. Got a hold of Hoss Huggins, who was inducted into the Texas Broadcasters Hall of Fame last year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hoss and Hardy in Tyler.
Yeah,
on K-Rose.
Yeah.
I had a chance to work with him, and you talk about some of the people he knows because he has been a musician all of his life.
Yeah.
And he can tell us some stories. We're getting that set up, too.
Might have to do a face-to-face with him one day.
It's been fun today. Good show, my brother.
It has, brother.
We hope everybody has a great weekend.
And we appreciate you guys. What y'all are
we
all
cannot
about.
say that enough.
Your
Thank
opinion,
you.
your comments, whether we agree with them or disagree with them, we respect the hell out of them. And thank you so much for sending them in.
Yes, we do. Good or bad?
Yeah.
Good or bad?
Yeah.
Until we see you again on Monday, be safe. Take care of your family. God bless. And we'll talk to you soon.
No, we love you. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Later.